Morning, guys. Um, we will start by having a look at Monday's homework. Okay, so the first one, draw a net for each of the giving rectangular solids. Make sure you draw your net as accurately as possible using graph paper. Okay. Just going to change this so that I have boxes, just because it's easier. Okay, so I only asked you to do the middle one there. Okay, so I'll start with the one that's facing me. And that one is 4 across and 2 down. So 1, 2, 3. Oh no. Let's just delete that. Okay, we'll try that again. Right, so start here. 1, 2, 3, 4 across, 2 down. Yeah? Okay, I'm going to do the wings at the side, which are 2 down, which I already have, and then just 1 out. So insert, start here, and you go out just the 1, like that. And then same thing on the other side. So I'm going to start from here, go out 1. Okay, so these are, 4 across this way, 2 up the side, and then 1 out that way. Yeah? And I'm going to take 1 box equals 1 centimeter. Yeah? Okay, so now I'm going to do the bit at the bottom, which is 4 across and 1 this way. So insert. Okay, so we go 4 across and just the 1 down. So that's the top, and the bottom is going to have that. So 4 this way, 1 this way. Yeah, so 4 and 1. The next one then is going to be the one that's facing the front, which is obviously going to match it. So that's a 4 and a 2. So there's your 4 and 2. And then if this one here is the bottom, then the top's going to match that. So that's a 4 and a 1. There you go. I'll throw in a few more measurements here. So this is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 1, and all of those are 4s. Okay, so that's what it should look like. That's question 5B. Okay. Down the bottom here, it says a rectangular solid and its net are shown in each part. What are the values of P, Q, and R? Okay, so if that's the base, okay, so if that's the base, then P which goes this way, yeah, is this bit here. So P is 10 centimeters. Yeah. Q then is the width of the base, so that's going to be this bit. So Q is 5 centimeters, and then, I mean, by default, but also if you try and imagine folding the net up, that R would be the height of the box. So, well, depending on how you figure it out, this here is the same as this here. So R is 3 centimeters. Yeah. So that's the homework. Today is Wednesday the 24th of February. this is what we're moving on to. So calculating the surface area of rectangular solids, okay? So we just spent the last class doing nets. And essentially, the surface area is like, I always think of surface area if I was going to paint it. So if you gave me a box and asked me to paint it, I would paint all 6 surfaces, okay? So essentially, the surface area is all the faces of the net, okay? If you find the area of each face and add them all up, okay? And that's what that says there. It says the sum of the area of all 6 faces of the net, okay? But, like, we can figure this out. I mean, if we can even figure this out quite quickly. This one here, to get the area of that face, we would do 7 times 3, which is 21. But there's 2 of those faces, so this one's also 21. Likewise, we could do the side, so this one here, which would be 7 times 2, which is 14. But again, there's 2 of them, so that one's also 14. And then the side one here, so the side here is going to be, you have to see the way this here and this here, if you folded that box, those 2 sides would join together. Yeah, if you folded those 4 kind of flaps up, those 2 bits that I've marked in yellow would meet and they'd have to be the same length. So that means this is 3 times 2, which is 6. But again, there's 2 of them, so this is also 6. If you add all of those up, you get the surface area of that. Yeah? So from that, you get formulas. Okay? Again, these formulas are not in the formula and tables book. Okay? But the surface area of a cuboid, so a cuboid is a rectangular solid. Okay, and this is essentially what we just did. Okay, so you multiply, B here is the, B means breadth, and breadth is the same as width. Okay, I don't know why the book hops and changes between them. Okay, so you multiply the length by the width, okay, which if we go back up here, we did that, right? There it is in red. We multiplied the length by the width, and then we doubled it because there was 2 of those faces. Okay, so that's what the first bit is. It's multiplying the length by the width and doubling it. Then we multiplied the length by the height. So we did that here in green. The length was 7, the height was 2. We multiplied them to get 14. And then we doubled it because there was 2 faces like that. And then the last one is 2 times the width by the height. So the width by the height is your 3, which is your width, by your 2, which is your height. So 3 times 2 was 6. And again, we doubled it because there was 2 of them. So that's where the formula comes from. Okay, literally that's all you're doing. It's each of the faces and then recognizing that every face has a pair. So there's the top and the bottom. They would be the same. The front and the back, the side and the side. Okay, and then that formula, just like it did when we were doing rectangle versus square, when you go to cube, okay, because a cube is a square solid, okay, if I start with the same formula from up here, so 2 length by width plus 2 length by height plus 2 width by height, but recognizing that in a cube, the length equals the width equals the height, then this basically becomes 2LL plus 2LL plus 2L times L. L times L is L squared, 2L squared plus 2L squared, and that becomes 6L squared. So that's where they're getting that from. Yeah? Okay, and again, I don't know that you need to learn these formulas. Like, they're just logical. You're just figuring out the faces. That's all. Okay? So here we go. Surface area of the cuboid. I'm not necessarily going to use the formula. I'm just going to start with this one. Okay, so the area of that one is 16 times 10, which is 160. But then we need to recognize that there's the one we're looking at, and then there's the one at the back there. So we're going to do 2 times 160. Yeah? Okay, we'll do the top. So the top is, this bit here is 10. And this bit here is 8. So 10 by 8 is 80. And again, that's the top, but we also have the bottom. So it's going to be 2 times 80. And then the side, so the side here, that's 16. That's 8. 16 times 8 is 128. But again, we have the one we're looking at, and then we have the side over here, so it's 2 times 128. And then to get the surface area, we just add them all up. So 2 by 160 plus 2 by 80 plus 2 by 128 is 736 meters squared. Yeah, it's an area, so it's going to be meters squared. And I did use the formula. Like in red, I did the length by the width. Actually, I didn't. In red, I did the length by the height. So that's like this one, and then I doubled it. In green, I did the length by the width. So there's the length by the width, and then I doubled it. And then, what's the last one? The width by the height. That was done in yellow. So yellow was the width by the height, and I multiplied it by 2. But again, I didn't do that. I didn't use the formula. I just looked at the shape, and I figured out my faces. Yeah? So that's how you do surface area. Now, there's loads of examples, lots of different ones there, but they're similar. So, for homework, I would like you to do, please, just a few surface area questions. Feel free to have a look at some of those examples if you want, and let me know if you can't figure them out. I think they're fairly straightforward. Okay, so we're going to go with this one here. So the question there is, find the surface area. And specifically, it wants the answers in meters squared, so there's a bit of conversion to be done there. And then I want you to do question 7, which is about a cubic dice. And then I want you to do question 8, which is a wooden box with no lid. Okay, so I'll throw these into the, where am I going? There. I'll throw these into your journal now. And these will be due for Friday. Okay, and then just down a bit, these two. Okay, so 3 questions based around surface area then to be done for Friday. Okay, let me know if you run into any problems. Thanks, guys.